Okay. Let's see. Looks like we're going live. Here is it on. Got to deal with the delay.
Yeah.
There it is. It has like a 7-second delay. Anyway, guys, it's 8 o'clock now, and here we are just to bullshit about random topics. Previously, right before we got on this thing, we were actually talking about shitting habits and the effect alcohol might have on it. So, but that's not our primary topic tonight. Basically, I've made a few videos where I've talked about real-life metal friends and all that kind of shit. Well, this guy's been my real-life metal friend since, what, was it 02, 03? Something like that?
I'm going to be 38. I was 19, I think, when I met you. So, I'm not good at math.
19 years. That's 2002, then.
Yeah. That sounds right.
That's a long time.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and a big difference between then and now is we actually had hair back then, both of us.
Yeah, believe it or not.
So, that's in the rearview mirror, never coming again. So, anyway, I know you've been making music since you were like a kid. You picked up guitar, what, 13?
Yeah. I got my first guitar when I was 13 for Christmas. My dad fixed up an old acoustic that actually was his. There's pictures of me being 3 years old holding this guitar. He just fixed it up and gave it to me for Christmas. So
nice.
I started just learning Metallica songs. So, that Christmas I got some Metallica tab books too. Like I was just pretty much just obsessed with the first 5 albums, and I wanted to learn everything I could, and everything just kind of
spurred from there. It's kind of funny because your Metallica story is a little atypical, not incredibly, but you started like listening to Metallica when you were like little, like 3 or 4, because your older siblings and shit.
Yeah, my family is a little different than most. I mean, especially for not having step siblings. Like my brother and sister are like about 11 and 10 years older than me, and then there's me. And then I have a younger brother that's about 5 years younger than me. So I know that's not to everybody's like, so are you guys step siblings? Like, no, there's just, whatever, circumstantial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like 3 years old, and my brother was playing me Master of Puppets. He had on a cassette tape a buddy gave him from high school, and he was playing that to me in my playpen. And then,
that's crazy.
When I was 4, I remember watching the one video come on, and my sister and all her friends were watching it on MTV, and I remember just standing there like, guys shouldn't have long hair. No, but I was just like in a trance, like I was like, this shit's awesome. And then my brother got the cassette tape for Injustice for All, and I like, those furniture pieces where you lift the lid up and they got like the 8-track player and the cassette, that stuff. Like we had that, and I was sharing a bedroom with him at this point because my little brother was just born, so he took my old room. But I'm up there jamming that with him, and then he got his first car, and he was dropping me off to kindergarten every day, jamming Injustice for All at the loudest volume.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his car could handle it. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I had a different story there. With having my older siblings get me into metal at a real young age.
Yeah, well, like I've said before, I had no older siblings. I got there on my own. It just took me a little longer. So, all right, what we're about to play now for you guys, we're gonna play a little bit of his earliest work from Dark Demise. That's basically the band you had when you were a teenager, more or less.
Yeah. As soon as I picked up the guitar, me and my couple of best friends formed a band, and we mostly did covers, though.
Yeah.
So
well, these what we're going to listen to is going to be original. This one here is this one's "Lay These Demons to Rest." We're not going to listen to the whole thing. We're going to kind of listen to snippets because if we listen to all these songs, we'd be here all night. So
is it that song or is it the instrumental one?
Well, we can do either one.
I think the instrumental one was a little better.
All right. Well, we'll do the instrumental, "Vicious Cycle." All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's listen to that.
I'm not hearing it.
Damn it! Oh, shit, I forgot to share my fucking screen. God damn it.
Oh, there you go.
That's my fault. Let's do it. Yeah, well...
For me, it's on the bottom right.
I'm gonna hit start sharing. There. Alright, well...
Well, shit, now I see myself. This is weird.
Well,
Well, this looks like how we were doing it earlier now.
yeah, when we were testing.
Do
You hear that now? Hold on, let me... Oh, I probably didn't fucking hit share the audio. God damn it. I'm gonna hit... This is my fault, because I'm gonna hit stop sharing. Boom. Share screen. Share computer sound. Yeah, that's what we want. That is my fault for sucking, guys.
Sucks to suck, bud.
Yep. Alright, so now... Here we go. Do you hear that now? I play it? Yeah? Good. Now, what's cool to me about this track is even though it was, like, really early work, you definitely had the basics down of, like, some intricacies, interplay, like, you already kind of had the basic building blocks of sound writing down by the time you did this. You know? For, like, a first effort, it's really good, you know? Now, did you remaster this recently or something?
No, I didn't remaster it.
Oh, okay. Because I know you remastered some of your Socraticus stuff.
I remastered Socraticus stuff.
I didn't know if you remastered this or not.
I didn't really bother with it. I mean, it all turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
Before I released it. Because, I mean, there's only the two Dark Demise EPs. And they're both just me and a drummer, Sean Dobbins, who he was actually in the first Socraticus drummer before I found Andy and Evan. So he's also my first cousin's first cousin. So you know, we've known each other since we were
forever.
Kids.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, he's more into like Dream Theater and stuff, and I've got like way further into like, you know, extreme metal over the years and stuff. So like this was a project I felt like he would be good for, because it's basically it's an old band of mine that had like 3 different lineups. From the time I formed it when I was 13 till I was like 18 is the last time I had a real lineup.
Yeah.
So this was basically material that I just had in my head since I was like 14 or 15 years old. And I finally was able to have a home studio. So it's really just like a home project.
Yeah.
And it's needed to kind of clean it
out, get it all out, yeah.
So he was a good candidate to bring in to help me finish that one.
Yeah, but still, like I said, for like a quote first effort, you know, honestly, I would say it's about as good as, you know, really any first effort you hear, even from like gigantically famous bands. You know what I mean? Like you listen to the old demos of Exodus or whoever, you know, it's not going to sound really much better than this, you know. It's going to sound very similar to this kind of stuff. So I'd say for like a first effort, it's pretty good, you know. And then of course you got the light and dark with the heaviness. So we're gonna move on to this one's more of a ballad, I think. One Last Drink.
Yeah.
Is
that was actually probably the first song really I ever wrote.
Yeah.
Well, the first half of the song, like the ballad half.
Oh, okay.
But later in life, I finally wrote like the ending of the song. It gets real heavy. It's like, like Fade to Black's a
Yeah.
ballad, and then it's a thrash song. Well, this is like a ballad, and then it's like kind of more leaning more towards death metal.
Oh, yeah. No kidding. So let's see here. It looks like your girlfriend joined the chat.
Oh, cool.
CC says you're still obsessed with the first few albums. Yep. Well, that's because they were good. Damn it.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of their later work. Like, I don't know. I guess I will ask you. I don't want to spend all our time talking about Metallica because that'd get boring.
Yeah,
but,
we do that all the time. We've been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah, but people...
Every time we call each other, we'll talk for an hour, and somehow Metallica always gets brought up, and we spend at least 15 minutes talking about the same thing.
But before we move to the next song, we're going to try to just leave them. I will ask you the one question that... There's so much controversy surrounding the Black Album. Do you feel that was a quote-unquote sellout album of theirs? Or do you think it was actually legitimately what they wanted to do?
I wouldn't say it was a sellout in that sense. I think they legitimately wanted to do that. Maybe not so much James wanted to do this, but at this point, I feel like they really wanted a sense of everybody, not just being the James and Laura show.
Right.
Like they wanted to branch out and be something bigger. And I think that Bob Rock kind of being like that fifth member, and he said some stuff back then that was true. Like they never really up to that point captured on an album what they really sounded like live.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that he brought that to him. Selling out as far as like maybe they shouldn't have done 2 ballads on that album, but other than that, that song has that album has a lot of killer songs on it.
It does. I agree.
Like if you overlook Nothing Else Matters and Enter Sandman, it's really. And even Struggle Within, that always kind of felt like a weak filler ending track to me. But
I think my favorite.
But the rest, if they would have kept the formula of like the 8 songs or the 9, and just kept those songs, I felt like people probably wouldn't be giving them shit about it then. Because Through the Never's pretty thrashy.
It is.
Wolf and Man's really, really heavy and has that bite. They always.
I don't know. I like the doomy song, My Friend in Misery.
Yeah. That's killer too. In a sense, that's almost like the third ballad.
In a way.
I think that the song was really, really good, and then it gets to the chorus, and it just.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of like that's like Alice in Chains song "Angry."
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
I remember,
cool, and then it gets to the chorus.
Yeah.
This.
All right, so we're
yeah.
gonna go ahead and play on this one last drink thing here.
Alrighty.
think by far you've grown the most as a vocalist over the time I've known you, because just your clean singing on this. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm just saying that for the benefit of people watching. And anybody else in the chat, feel free to speak up. We don't have to just hear from Jamie. I mean, it's awesome to hear from Jamie, but got a couple folks here, so anybody else wants to speak up, feel free. But like I said, your guitar playing has always been on point, I thought, I've never like listened to it and thought to myself, he really needs to work on that. That's never happened.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and your songwriting I think's always been really good too. But and I think you're a lot better at quote extreme metal vocals. Anyway, now like
I'm trying to. I mean, like I have a couple songs I sing clean on out of.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got several things out, and I'm usually not doing that. I'm usually screaming or.
Yeah.
I know what my strong points are, but when you got a song, sometimes you.
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, think about it. You play guitar really well. You write songs. I would actually say you're a recording engineer at this point, because I already did the Garrotem in Darkness song, and a lot of people that had some good responses on that one. People like that song, as far as I know. I would say at this point you could probably, actually be a quote recording engineer.
Well,
you've no problem. I mean, because I'm such a production whore, and in fact, I'm such a production whore, I should maybe listen to Katy Perry or something. But
right.
I mean, you've gotten to the point where it's like, it's like, because when you sent me that second master of that song, I heard it and I was like, I would change nothing. So yeah, I mean, it's you've gotten to that point to
sometimes
where
it's a lot of fighting in the dark. Sometimes,
Yeah.
I've probably got like 30,000 hours now, something stupid like that, into recording, mixing, mastering stuff.
Do you ever?
It's just the last 5 years really is where.
Have you had any success like recording other bands or anything yet, or?
I've recorded other local bands here, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I've had a few. I had a few paying gigs. and then mostly just focused on on myself, because I've had such a catalog of music in my head now for forever. So
yeah, it's all about just scratching that itch and getting it out there.
Yeah.
Really.
So fortunately, I got a lot of good friends in the metal community that have been kind enough to lend some drumming skills or like vocals on a couple. I had a couple different vocalists on my band McCurrick, and so like it's been surreal. It's been nice because originally picking up the guitar, I just wanted to play Metallica songs, and
now you're
6 years I played guitar. I really didn't care about doing anything original in a sense.
Yeah.
So
and then all of a sudden it was just like you got that urge and started writing, and
Right. And then that shit builds up for years, and going to a studio costs money. And, and I did that, and I paid my money, and I paid my dues, and then decided to invest in equipment instead and learn it so I can get everything out of the system.
Exactly.
And move on.
All right, let me get to the end part of this song here where it's heavier. Yeah, that was pretty killer. You know. This next one we're going to talk about, of course, because when we met up, did you form Socraticus yet, or were you about to form Socraticus? I can't remember.
It was before, like, I knew, like, me and Zach started Socraticus, right?
Yeah.
And I knew Zach before you, but when I met you, he was in juvie. Like, he was in juvie for like a year and a half, and I remember exactly when I would say it started because like my grandpa passed away, and it was in March of 2003, and like a week later he called me. He was out of juvie finally, right? So I went over there and hung out with him at his mom's house. I ended up staying there for like 6 weeks, and we were just trading riffs, and like so that was the start of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like not long after we met. I think that's when you started recording Catastrophic Images. I'm pretty sure.
No, well, it wasn't Catastrophic Images.
Oh.
It was the predecessor. Like once we had the real lineup established with Andy and Evan in Florence, Kentucky. Then we did a demo in November of 2005.
Yeah.
And it was never named.
Oh, okay.
It was only pressed on a few CDs, handed out to a couple friends, like it, you know.
Right.
And then, so it wasn't until 2010 that Catastrophic Images came out, which was basically the same album, just redone.
Right. I guess it just felt so much older to me because, like, I remember the entire process of going through all the iterations of it. That's why I felt like
you actually helped us decide on the name because
I
had a list on like one of those yellow pads.
Yeah.
Notepads. Like I had like 10 names on it, and I just gave it to you and gave it to Zach, the guitar player. Like I don't fucking know at this point. Just pick a name. You both came back to me like Socraticus, and I was like,
yeah, I remember that. Okay. And the reason you picked Socraticus
cool.
is you wanted to basically make it a word that sounded Greek but wasn't a real word, basically.
Well, I wanted something that sounded metal.
Yeah. Well, Latin and Greek usually sound metal.
Because I also didn't want, when you do internet search, it's just like rigor mortis or something. It's like, of course, something's going to come back. Like,
yeah.
I wanted something more original, like Metallica, obviously.
Yeah.
I just wanted something that sounded metal, sounded cool. I could draw a cool logo for it and be really original. So when people looked for that band, we would be the only one.
Yeah. Well, I think honestly, you've done a pretty good job with naming all your bands. Mercuric's another good name. So is Garotum. I mean, Yeah,
Mercuric. That was actually the bass player. He had that name for years.
Oh, okay.
He was really into alchemy. And he said that he's like, I got the perfect name for a band. He's like basically it's like mercury. It can change. It's a metal that can change form.
Right.
And we were wanting to do like black and thrash death metal. So I was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I ran with that. But yeah, Garotum I just made up too, and that's why I had to make a story up for it.
Yeah, it's a cool story actually. Yeah. So this is probably my favorite song from. I don't know if it's this or Holocaust from the Sky, from the first album. This is Counterfeit Christ.
Hell yeah!
So we're gonna do a little bit of that one. Yeah.
My favorite. Drinking a lot of water to prep myself for all the whiskey.
Do what? I can't hear. Do what now?
I'm drinking a lot of water to prep myself for all the whiskey I'm going to drink.
Yeah, I'm just drinking water to stay hydrated. Yeah, I know. Today's your drinking day because it's the once every 3 day things, and you gotta prep yourself for it. You gotta
try. When you drink a whole fifth every time you drink, you try to like balance it out by giving yourself a break for a few days. So I watch the sunrise a lot. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Yeah, that's a pretty kicking song, obviously. I think the reason Socraticus was, I thought, was quote my favorite band of what you've done is just because it's the most, thrash, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just straight ahead thrash.
I was about to start getting down it sounds like gangster compared to the shit that I do now.
Well, yeah.
It's very groove, oriented and
and you could tell from those vocals, you can tell a slight Phil Anselmo influence. It's not you're definitely not copying him on it, but
yeah, I always get I'm a mix between Max Cavalera and Phil Anselmo on that album. I get
I could
a lot from people, and I'm like, that's whatever.
Yeah. Well, at least they're not saying you sound like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how the hell
Machine Gun Kelly sounds like me.
Yeah, that is just.
But yeah, that's another song off my album about genocide because I'm writing these lyrics so young and every song of that album was about something else. Like Holocaust in the Sky was about Chernobyl, and that song there was about Jim Jones and the Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah.
So I definitely would like to paint my lyrics a little metaphorically and paint a picture that way, and instead of just straight out saying themes are about. I'm a little more creative than WAP. Even then. So yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting thing because I don't know if people are sometimes even will pick up in my lyrics what I'm talking about, and if they don't, great. I think that it cheapens it sometimes if you spell it out for people.
Yeah, open to
sorry for any spoilers that I told everybody it's about Jonestown. Right?
That's all right. It's. Have you ever watched any? I guess you've probably watched a lot of documentaries. I'll tell you the craziest fucking line from any of those documentaries. There was some guy who joined the church, and he was being interviewed. I guess this was after he had left the church. And he's like, "Yeah, Jim Jones said to me, he's like, if you want me to suck your dick, I'll suck your dick." He said to some guy who had joined the church. I'm like, okay then. So yeah, it's just like.
All right. Well, that stinks.
I would just be like, no, that's okay. I'll pass on that offer, thanks.
Yeah.
It just shows you how fucked.
Big no for me. I'm out, dog.
I don't know if I can be in this church anymore. If it's that kind of church, I don't know if I want to do it. Where some guy offers to.
That's sacrilegious.
But yeah, I just remember watching that documentary and the guys talking about this, and yeah, I mean, apparently Jim Jones was just having sex with so many people. I mean, that. Honestly, though, of the things he did, that's probably one of the least fucked up. I mean, as fucked up as what he did was
completely ripping off Fat Elvis's look. I mean, that was terrible.
We could have gotten him for copyright infringement back in the day.
And for ruining Kool-Aid's good name.
I know, right?
Now everybody politically wants to use that all the time.
Yeah, drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
So do you think that him and Hitler both shot themselves afterwards, or do you think that's a big conspiracy?
I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure they're both dead, you know.
Oh, by now they got me.
Well, yeah.
They both got the Rona.
Got it in the fucking nursing home.
Ended it for them.
They went to New York and because I'm sure you probably heard about fucking in New York how that governor there is covering up all kinds of shit, and like they were massively it was a real bad situation with the old people in the nursing home. They were dropping like fucking flies. Yeah.
I was too busy mixing that Karadam song for 80 hours to pay attention to the news.
Oh, well, you're just missing out so much on the bullshit.
Oh, yeah, missing out on so much.
Well, you know, it's just...
I'll pass.
Oh,
but yeah,
well.
anyway, I really like your Minnie Mouse headphones.
I guess they... Holy shit, I just realized. The reason they look like this is because... Here, I'll take this thing off. I'll see if it can show you on camera here.
It's the red band on there. Definitely, yeah.
I didn't even fucking realize that. Now I'll never Thanks, I'll never unsee this shit. I'll never unsee this.
I ruined your comfort.
God damn it. Here, let's see. Because on the fucking band is starting to fray. Like the shit's coming off of it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I ordered this fucking thing. And I was like, ooh.
Black.
And I thought to myself, red will be... Now I feel fucking great. I'll never unsee that shit now. God damn it. I'll never unsee that shit now.
I'm glad I brought it up. On live YouTube.
It's alright, I appreciate it. You know, it's all good. It's just like, oh well, fuck it.
Insult friend about Minnie Mouse headphone cover. That's what's gonna blow this shit up.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, around the time you gave me this laptop, so when we talked about, that's when we were first starting to talk about doing like a heavy metal podcast thing together.
Yeah, that was forever ago.
Now it's like this is kind of in a way coming to fruition right now.
Yeah, this is a very indirect way to do it.
Right.
This is I don't know if we'll do this again or not. Because this was a production to get together. It's just like
yeah. I mean, like now that we know how to
do it,
so it makes it
it's not that bad. That's true. That is true.
Really not bad.
No. I was thinking about at some point. Although, see, the thing is, if I just sit like. We could play copyrighted songs and talk about them. The only problem with that, of course, is, you know, if you're going to do a podcast, usually the reason people do that is to eventually monetize it. And if we played a whole lot of, like, you know, copyright... Because, let's face it, we're not going to want to, like, analyze... If we're going to listen to music, it's going to be Slayer or Cataclysm or Morbid Angel or whatever, right? And you play any of that shit. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we play that shit.
Their new album fucking kicks, too, man. Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen any of the new music videos?
You know what, I'll look that shit up real quick. I'm gonna look that shit up real quick.
Shit's fucking hilarious, man. I love those guys, man.
All right, it's time to get a copyright claim on this thing. Might as well. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're with Nuclear Blast right now too. So
yeah, it looks like 2 new songs. Your window is open and the wheels on the bug. All
yeah,
right.
that
All right, let's do that one.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Okay.
I love this video.
Dude, I've seen these guys 3 times.
I love this.
And every time I've seen them, I've got to go up, talk to them, shake their hands. Like,
That's awesome.
you know what I mean? Like, they're really, really personable people. They're
Yeah.
really fucking cool. They've signed everything, taken pictures, give me, the guitar player singer gave me a pic right out of his wallet. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
Like, yeah, you could just go up and bullshit with them, man, and then
This is one of the
they're real.
this is one of the best music videos I think I've ever seen because it is so ridiculous and great. I love it. It's just I love the caricature of Ted Bundy. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great. And then the
It's
look
funny
on the
because
chick's
I
face,
watched
she's
that
like,
video. I think I watched that video shortly after watching the new. Did you see that Zac Efron movie where it's got a really, really long, stupid name to it, but James Hetfield plays a cop in it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I've heard of it.
It's got extremely wild or extremely wicked and vile, or I don't fucking know. It's a really, really stupid long name, but the movie's really fucking good.
I'm gonna have to look that shit up. I
just finished watching that movie, and then I see this video. Oh man!
I'll just type James Hetfield cop movie. That'll tell me the name of it.
Great.
James. God damn, I can't type. James Hetfield cop movie. What's it called?
Yeah, tell me the title, please.
Extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Yeah,
That sounds like a emo band's name or something. It's just too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna download that song illegally now on BitTorrent. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but
don't say that out loud live.
I don't. What are they gonna? I've talked about pirating shit before.
That's just fine.
Yeah, I just can't. I just can't say Mr. Potato Head anymore. That's offensive to people
It's
apparently.
Easy. Mr.
Oh my God!
Potato
Head.
Tater nuts.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, that's just. I don't know. I was like, that's just so dumb that they. Yeah, boom. Yeah, I'll watch this movie later. So I'll just start the download now. I do that shit yeah, because that's a movie I definitely wanted to watch. So I was like,
yeah, it's good. It really is.
Yeah, cool. I still got to get through that. South Park. After we're done with this call, I think I'm probably gonna watch the rest of that South Park special. So,
God, yeah,
I gotta finish that. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I did like the pandemic special better, but they did some shit on there. I'm not going to ruin it, but like it's like if that doesn't get them canceled, like I don't know what else. Like how much? Like it's something that like if I do my own like web series saying the Cletus Front Butt, and I do a lot of offensive or stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I could show a paper puppet with a dick on it, but I mean, and I could cuss as
yeah,
hard
exactly.
as I want. But as far as South Park has already like pushed things. I mean, for like, it still shocked me even a little bit that like Comedy Central
put it on,
even allowed it. And
I gotta watch it because like I told you, I only got to the point where they were in Walgreens with the old woman and she was asking for more money.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was great. All right, so moving back on track here.
Yeah, where the fuck are we? Which band am I in now?
We're still we're up to McCurrick now.
Yeah. You want to do Are you going to do the one where I'm singing, or are you?
This is Since the Dawn of Winters.
With me singing, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Okay, so like,
you do sing on that one, Since the Dawn of Winters,
well,
right?
There's two versions because there's a sequel, and then on the second album, it's re-recorded with the new vocalist on that album.
Well, I'm not sure. It's the one on Bandcamp, so
they're both on Bandcamp, but like if it's single by itself, then it's the single, and it's just the one with me on it. If it's on the self-titled album, then that's the other guy.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we listen to it. So, I'm pretty sure it's you, but it's whatever. So, all right. Wait a minute. I'm a little confused on one thing though, because I'm looking at another McCurrick song. Didn't you have a band called the Cerebral Quell thing? No. Was that a band or that was just that album?
That was that album.
Okay. I got all right. Because I remember seeing. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
So Cerebral Quell was the ghost story.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And that's how the band started. Like I wrote a concept album. I was really, really, really into King Diamond and listened to a lot of Dragon Lord at that point. So it was like we wanted to do a blackened, death metal thing. So that's where it started from. And then the second album was kind of me cleaning the closet out. That there's songs that could have been Socraticus, could have been, were written for McCurrick, and then there was some that was supposed to be someday in a more extreme metal band that I was going to do, but I just threw them all together because I'm like, fuck it, that's why it's called McCurrick, so we can be whatever, But yeah, if it's the one with the old logo on it, then it's the one with me singing it.
Yeah, it's you then, because it's got the old logo. All right, so here we go. Well, actually, no, on this one it says guitar vocals Michael Berry. I don't know. We'll see.
No, that's bass.
Oh, sorry, I can't read. Yeah, Nathan Willis and guitar vocals, whatever.
Yeah.
If I was literate, this would help.
Yeah, so that's when we were a three-piece. Ryan on drums and Mike.
I like the ambiance there at the end. That's cool shit. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah, that was one day in the studio. And then the next day, the guy mixed it, sent it to me, and I was like, "Can you add some wind effects in the beginning and the end?" And he went back and did that, and emailed it back to me. So it was just like, what a turnaround, you know? Like we go in there for like 8 hours, and then the next day, towards the end of that night, I'm getting the emails of the finished track. I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
The way we all were in the band at that
Although, you know what's crazy? I think even now, my favorite, quote, ambient sound effects like that ever in a song are still the way that Black Sabbath's first song starts off. You know, with the rain and shit, and the bells.
Yeah. Atmosphere is good.
You know, I mean, that was just such a cool way for metal to begin. You know?
Right.
I mean...
I'm definitely not against, like, what we call jip tracks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or these, like, intros and stuff like that.
Yeah, they can be very cool.
Like,
yeah.
I really dig this band Seth from France.
Yeah.
Album Era Decay. They do, like, this industrial shit in between their songs that are, like, real... Like, they'll find a hook of a riff, and they'll almost, like, beat it to death, but they keep changing the drum pattern and then, like, doing counter rhythms with it that keeps it interesting. And it's just so badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, but they do a lot of those kind of tracks in between songs where it's, like, the jip tracks where, like, okay, all right. Like, something I normally sit there and listen to on its own, but...
Right. It's part of an album, it can be cool.
Badass death metal band, I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna play a song. This is gonna be copyrighted again. I just want to see if you know this band. I'm gonna try to stump you just to see if you know this.
Does this stump the trunk?
Something like
right now?
Yeah. We're gonna play this and see if you know this because you know so many bands. I'm just gonna see. This is not the most obscure thing, but it's semi obscure.
Okay.
So we'll try it. It's Tom Araya. No.
Definitely not.
I forgot the Angel of Death scream was in there.
Is that Rob singing?
No, the name of the band is called Dust Bolt.
Yeah,
You don't know them?
knows?
All right.
No.
Here's
But I mean, like there was a quality to his voice sometimes where I was thinking it was like Rob Flynn for some reason.
No. Here's one of my favorite. I don't know. I guess I'd call this blackened thrash. I'm gonna see if you know this. Okay. You might. Skip ahead a little bit where it really kicks in. Let's try a faster song. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you don't know Toxic Holocaust, that's all right.
Yeah.
I really like that band. I'm just saying that, like, because I talk about it sometimes in videos about like what I would like to see happen in metal and shit, and like that kind of shit right there.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I like, because you're mixing. It sounds fresh enough to where it's not just retreading what already happened in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of like Ghoul, like Maniacs. It's got that sound that's kind of like really almost guttural death metal in a way, but it's definitely thrash.
Yeah.
You know. But like as far as like the new thrash, we talked about this earlier. As far as like the new thrash bands go, though, like I only really care for like maybe Green Death and Evil and stuff. Other than that, I'll just.
What do you think about? Do you like
bands.
Warbringer?
I haven't listened to them enough, honestly.
Oh, okay.
All right. No, because I mean, like, that's the thing. Like with like newer thrash bands, it's kind of like I'm just kind of, you know, it's always got a special place in my heart, but I've kind of like moved.
Yeah.
On in a sense.
No, I got you.
So it's, you know, and like I said earlier to you, it's like there's a lot of this thrash that's kind of like pizza thrash.
Yeah.
Like Municipal Waste.
Yeah. That's a
it's just not.
That's.
It just makes it cheesy, and but I mean, like we've always talked about this too, because like you know, if there was a Big 8 Overkill, would be a part of that, and I just no.
I know you are not the biggest Overkill fan.
Not for me. Like I love Forbidden and Testament and Exodus and all that, but I just there's somewhere where there's a cross, like with them and like Death Angel too. They got this like power metal kind of edge to them.
I guess I hear that more. I hear that more with Death Angel than Overkill. Overkill to me is still basically purely thrash.
But in a more like kind of Iron Maiden kind of a way. I don't know. I know like over the years they've gotten like heavier and stuff, but I mean Bobby's voice is Bobby's voice, you know. I mean that's
it's one of a kind. I personally, of course, you know, I'm a big Overkill fan, and like I became addicted to them like in the mid '90s. I think is when I just finally discovered Overkill. They weren't one of the first bands I got into. Like for me, it was like Metallica, Megadeth, and it was of course the big four first, and then I just went a few other directions. Overkill, I don't think I really listened to them until like 93, 94 maybe. Something like that. And then because I actually got some of their shit from the Columbia Record Club. Remember that fucking thing where I get 20 albums for a penny or whatever?
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah. And that's actually how I got into Overkill. Like, because I had put down a bunch of... I wish I had gamed the system, though. I kind of regret not doing that. I should have put down a fake name, sent in that penny, and just kept doing it. But...
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of people did that shit, and I was like, why didn't I do that? Oh, well. I was just too stupid, I guess. Anyway, moving on.
It's not like I don't like power metal vocals. Like, I love Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
We just both went and seen Iron Maiden play. And,
Yeah, I remember that.
King Diamond's, like, one of my favorite bands ever, and I love him in Merciful Fate, too, and I've always been a huge fan. And
I would actually say that Iron Maiden show is probably literally the best concert I ever went to. And the reason I say that is because the stage show was so intricate.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a concert like that before in my life where there was that much going on the stage. That was... And of course they're playing. Everything was on point with their performance, too. Like, right. So that's why it was such a damn good concert. It was like... Basically, they just played their hits, you know, and like... You know, and they were on point, and it was, yeah, that was probably literally the best concert I've ever been to. I think it even beats, because I saw Metallica back, you know, during the Black Album tour, like during their later part of it, and I think it was actually better than that Metallica, because that was the first concert I ever went to, and I think it was actually better than that Metallica concert.
My first concert was also Metallica, but unfortunately it was during Reload. And they only played 2 songs off of Kill 'Em All, and they did them acoustically. So that was awful.
Let's see, what did they play?
But I still loved it. I was 14 and screamed my ass off.
Yeah, they played. I think they played "Hit the Lights" and "Whiplash." I can't believe I remember that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they played.
I remember them closing with "Creeping Death" when I saw them, and that's besides me screaming my throat out. That's like one of the only things I remember.
Yeah.
Took me, you know.
Yeah, it was a billion years ago.
Yeah,
I don't remember 1994 all that well. That was
for me. That was 97.
Yeah, because they had because they actually played, because when they were doing the Black Album tour, they actually came back to cities, and I guess I saw them like their second time through Cincinnati or whatever on the Black Album tour.
Yeah.
So
let's not talk about Metallica.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's shut up. I know we talk about them way too fucking much.
Let's quit getting sucked in.
All right. I think my favorite part about this is the blast beats. You know,
that's courtesy of Troll Daniel Colapaletta. He's a badass. He's on a lot of local bands here and overseas.
Yeah.
He's been an engineer for quite some time. I've learned a lot of tricks and things from him over the years.
Yeah.
This album actually was recorded by me playing guitar to a click and just sending him the raw, just the clean guitar files, and then he did everything else. And
so is he doing the vocals on that too? Because I could tell that. Did he do the vocals on that or? Oh
no, that was Nick Larry.
Okay.
They're both actually in a band that just put out their third album called Dead Ass Pussy. They're fucking badass, dude.
Nice.
And my buddy Brandon Arnett, he plays guitar with them. They've been doing that band for a long time. And Nick Larry's a badass. But yeah, if you check out Necrosadist, they have a lot of music videos and stuff too.
I think I've actually heard that name before.
So yeah, you should check them out.
Necrosadist?
Yeah.
All right, let's look that shit up real quick. Videos. Yeah, there they are. Hideous Revelation. That's probably one of theirs. So Let's do this thing. Oh, they're actually signed to, it looks like, a small label called Slam Worldwide.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Shit.
I like the riffing and the drums, but the vocals. I know it's suitable for this music.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
It's not your thing, man. It's Brie. It's a lot of Brie.
Yeah, it's
But
just.
yeah, it's badass, man.
Yeah, I mean the riffing and the drumming is awesome, but yeah,
I think the vocals are awesome too. But I mean, we're gonna have different opinions. You like Overkill's vocals?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Blind Guardian and all those gay guys, you know, Iced Earth, all that shit, you know.
Well, yeah, I love Ice Earth too. It took me a very fucking long time though because it just.
I remember for a long time you were just like you hated them. You were.
Well, you know, I never liked Kiss either, and you know, there's something about Ace Frehley's voice that, you know, is present.
I never listened to.
You know,
I guess the reason I never made the connection between those two.
Like Pearl Jam, you know, it's kind of
Yeah. I don't.
Same thing with Nevermore. Like I just can't do it, man. It's just too. I mean, oddly enough, I became a huge Volbeat fan, but the first 5 times I heard them, I fucking hated it, you know. But you just got to find the right song sometimes to connect with to be like, okay. But you know, I've had friends that have been obsessed with all these bands and have heard it enough over the years to know it's just I'll pass. It's not for me.
That's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's just. Yeah, everyone has. That's the beauty of it. Everyone can have the different opinions on stuff, and it's all good.
So we can all be friends and not cancel each other. It's fucking great.
I don't know. I'm getting uncomfortable because you know we're not. I don't know if we're gender fluid enough over here.
If we both lean forward, then we look like an ass.
Kinda, yeah. That's true. Now we just need Mr. Potato's veiny potato dick to come at us, and we'd be in good shape then. Yeah. Actually, I saw a joke. There was a joke about that on some website I saw, and it was pretty funny. I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty good. Oh, cool! Hey, we got Dan here.
Hey, Dan.
So, thanks for joining, Dan. Dan's from Canada. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Yeah, Dan is. He actually has a really cool channel on YouTube too. Basically, he talks about his collection and his big thing, because he's a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. But if I'm gonna guess your age, sorry, I'm gonna guess you're probably in your early 50s. And his big thing, because his name is Cassette Mayhem, so he loves collecting cassettes, right? Now he has a lot of CDs and records too, obviously, but yeah, he just put up a video recently of basically giving a music room tour, and it was really cool. I'm just gonna see here. Yeah, Dan has really good, in my opinion, has a great taste in music because we both like Overkill. You know, so that's how I know he's got good taste.
I got to see Overkill with Creator. I went for Creator though.
Hey, you know.
But I knew everybody's got to go see Overkill once. They do put on a killer show. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I've been in cover bands where I had to play a couple Overkill songs. I mean, it's you know, it's what it is. Yeah.
So yeah, his first. He said, "Oh man, he's lucky. He saw Metallica first on the And Justice for All tour with Queensryche. I mean,
oh, sweet.
Yeah, so that would have been an even better time to see him.
Yeah,
you know, Because that's real. That's
Lady Justice falling apart. Like I really wish I got to see that. You know.
I mean, at least we got live shit to watch. But
well, yeah.
You know,
whatever. But you know, I still would have loved to see them still in their prime. Yeah.
Yeah, because really, I thought that's when James's voice sounded the best between really the Puppets and Black Album era is kind of when.
This is a slippery slope, Bill.
Yeah. All right, let's shut the fuck up. All right, we're gonna move on to Stygian Vacuity.
Yeah. Okay. So
and
before you play, so that drummer that was on the Cerebral Quell album, Mercuric, he is the drummer in this. So since I already worked with him, I kind of knew the way he liked to do things, which is basically one-time signature and then tempos between a certain, BPM, just so that he can do the blast he likes to do. So I already was familiar with working with him, so it was pretty easy. Like, I wrote music to his style, and like I'd send him 2 songs a week, and then on the weekend he'd track 2 songs, send it back to me, and I'd have like a finished thing. Well, I would track the left and right guitar, the bass, and the lead guitar solos, send it to him, and then I'd have a finished theme pretty much minus the vocals.
Yeah.
We didn't play anything off the second Mercuric album, which is fine, but that the singer on that, Truman Bartram, he's also the singer for Stygian Vacuity. And this was the first time I ever stepped back and somebody else wrote the lyrics. So
cool. That's cool.
This is all his, he came up with the name and all that stuff too.
Obviously, you were the primary guitar writer, obviously, but yeah, that's.
And then there's another thing. There was like a father-son heavy metal thing going on for a while there, and my buddy Troll, the drummer, was doing that with his son, who recently turned 15.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
And they have a band called Tadium Vitae. If I might not be pronouncing that right, but that guy Truman also sings on that. And then they had me come in and do lead guitar solos all over it. But the only thing that's released right now is one video up on YouTube.
That's still really cool.
Not sure when the full album's coming out, but yeah. So I've done a lot with this drummer here. I've done a lot of projects and things with him.
Well, still the idea of a father-son metal team, that's pretty cool because I mean you hear about siblings all the time, but it's extremely rare. Extremely rare that it's a parent and a kid.
And he's my age, which is like I'm 37.
Right.
So
his kid's 15. So yeah, definitely a 37-year-old can have 15. Heck, that ain't too tough. So but yeah, that's really cool. I just wish I could get my kids into something other than rap / terrible pop music, but we all have our struggles.
Mumble rap, mumble pop.
Yeah. So all right. So this one's called Oblivescence. Yeah, I can't. Okay.
The singer wrote it because me and him are really, really, really bad alcoholics. That's what the song's about.
All right, well, let's listen to that.
And all the keys, all the symphonic stuff, like the drummer Troll, like he's really, really into black metal, and that's normally what he has a one-man project called Sokorbanoff. That was probably like his biggest thing he did for years.
Yeah.
And he's really into. I might say the letters back, BSDM. I don't know which one's the sex thing and which one's the black metal thing. Anyway, so, but yeah, he's really into that genre, and then besides that, he likes shoegaze, so he's kind of all over the gamut there. But he really likes atmospheric, black metal. So on this song, he put keys in. So when he sent it to me the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome that he put this melody with it. I wasn't suspecting it, and I know when I played you this album, you listened to the whole thing, and I think a lot of it's just probably too fast for you, or you weren't like, it didn't seem like you were really catching on to this band as much.
No, it wasn't my favorite.
This song in particular, I remember you going like, yeah, that's it, that's your best song.
Yeah,
because it's like slower maybe.
Yeah. I mean, most of the stuff you do is like, how can I put this? I would say it has wide appeal in the metal community. Most of your music is very much, like, I would say most metal fans would be into it, right? At least metal fans with, like, who don't just like, Iron Maiden and nothing else,
Right.
But if you like anything beyond that, I'd say most of the music you've done is. I'd say it has wide appeal, metal, you know. Whereas I think on this one it was like one of the few things you ever did that didn't have like kind of, you know, as broad of an appeal or whatever.
Right.
You know,
not as wide of a net as like Socraticus.
Right? Yeah, because Socraticus is just thrash. You know, even
it's
in
like,
McCurrick,
it's whatever. It's
McCurrick's just death metal, really. I mean, so
it's, at times it's even like Violets and Deceptions, like my baby. Like that's the hardest I ever worked on writing rhythm guitars and counter rhythms. Like I was listening to a lot of Spawn of Possession, so if I have anything that's like close to being tech death, it would be that song.
Yeah.
All
right.
But I'm more concerned about just writing some kick-ass fast riffs.
Exactly.
Really more of my deal. I mean, I also want to write stuff that's fun to play too, just in case. You know, chance I can get a band together to go play it live. You know, it's not impossible to find people to play with. So.
Oh, you did a cover set. Is that your band that did that?
A cover of Hard Stir of Sorrow.
We'll do that one next. We won't. We just won't talk about the band. So.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we'll do
the whole thing either.
God, no. We'll skip around.
Really, go watch it. I don't know. Just tell people.
Here, we'll just do this. Yeah. I think my favorite thing about this song are just like the smooth transitions that are in there.
Well, hopefully all my songs have that.
Well.
But anyway,
yeah, they do, but
yeah. So I'm glad you stopped it when you did, because that solo goes on for a minute and a half.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. So
that's time to stop and move on from that.
Yeah, we're gonna do the sellout. It's time.
So I have a band camp out there in YouTube land. I have a band camp for all my stuff, which Bill will link.
I can link all that shit in the description.
Yeah, and it's all all free. Like I'm
yeah.
I'm not trying to get rich here, so everything's just free for download. and Wave too. Like on Bandcamp, everything's in like
Wave files.
Yeah, so
I do have we are gonna sell out a little bit right now. We're gonna sell out. Where else are you going to hear a black metal version of Harvester of Sorrow?
I'm pretty proud of my solo on there too.
Oh, let's get to that then. All right. Now, did you make sure to get the same wah as Kirk?
Huh?
Did you make sure to get the same wah as Kirk?
Wah's Kirk?
Yeah, the same wah, because that's Kirk Hammett's favorite thing on Earth is the wah pedal.
Yeah. So what I did was I made the solo better because I didn't use a wah pedal.
Oh, well, I was kind of, I didn't think so. That's why I always said the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's everyone's joke about Kirk. I mean, overall, I think is he the best guitar player in metal? No, not even close. But I think he's fairly good. He's fairly good.
Yeah, he's a pretty good introduction for somebody that is just picking up the guitar, playing rhythm guitar, and wants to learn how to play some leads in heavy metal. Like the first thing I learned was Fade to Black. So
yeah,
he's a student of Satriani.
Yeah,
Satriani taught Vi and Alex Skolnick too. So
well, I would say him and James are obviously the two best musicians in the band, and that's all I'm gonna say about Metallica. So I'm gonna shut up now.
So anyway, what I do next in my life? Oh,
Garatum. We did the whole song. We're not gonna do that. No.
Okay. So what's in the future, you ask?
I didn't, but sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So. On Stygian Vacuity, my bass player from Socraticus, Evan Wright, was playing guitar.
Yeah.
And me and him have been talking for some years again now and working together. And what's up next is new Socraticus, finally.
Yeah, I know. I remember you talking about that. So it's going to
So
be, I assume, the third Socratic. So you're not going to re-record any of your old songs. It's going to be all new material,
No.
I'm guessing.
No. Actually, so we both got the same setup now. Like I got him to get a computer and get the same DAW that I use and like the same program so that we can actually file share, because he lives in Walton, Kentucky, which
Yeah.
won't really know, but basically he lives like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
About 45, 50 minutes from me. So that, and he has a kid. He works 12-hour shifts, rotating, like 3 on, 2 off bullshit. So getting together is kind of difficult. So having these programs is really going to help. So we got Superior Drummer 2.
Yeah.
So basically it's going to be me and him mostly just doing it. If we can find other people and do something live at some point, cool, great. If not, I'm not waiting around for anybody. I'm turning 38 this year.
Exactly.
So that's what we're hoping for. And what's going to happen is it's going to be an instrumental album.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I already have 2 songs. Actually, these songs were going to be Garatum songs, but after doing that single and stuff, and not having real, I mean, I just had a drummer involved in that laid drums on that. So I didn't even really have like a full lineup to really go anywhere with it. And then he was on leave at the time and went back to work. So it was like, all right, we don't have time to really. He's in another band too. So it's like, finding people in the city that play the type of music that you do and then be talented enough to play with you, and then not be involved in another band and not have a bunch of kids or what, especially at this age, it's kind of difficult. So so I have these 2 songs, and I didn't even write lyrics yet or sing on them yet. So basically, now I got 2 songs towards the new Socraticus album already.
I mean, I don't even know, quote, what part of the country, if any, is really thriving for metal nowadays. As far as scene goes.
Scene going on here now, but I mean, of course, coronavirus had to kill that somewhat last year, but now the shows are starting to come back. Like there's a show going on right now in Southgate House Revival.
That's cool.
Will Feiner, he's an awesome promoter and works at Transplant Productions, and they've been putting on a lot of good metal shows. Like whenever I go to a local metal show, it's pretty much all just local bands, and there'll be hundreds of people there. And,
that's awesome.
That never really happened in the past, except for if we had a free show at the park or something, like 10 metal bands all day Sunday with a chili cook-off, bring your own beer. That's the only time you could draw a crowd in really for original metal band, because Cincinnati's pretty conservative and pretty slow as far as most things go. So it's like, to play at a bar, it's like, all right, well, play a bunch of covers and maybe you can throw an original. It's not real accepting here usually, unless you could find a venue and a promoter that's going to put like-minded bands together to actually draw people in. So we have a pretty good death metal scene here going now.
That's cool. Well, like I said, the reason I'm not really, quote, plugged into it is because of where I live, like we talked about. I mean, I live in Southeast Indiana. If I go to any local bar, it's going to be fucking country and western.
Right.
That's it. Like, it's kind of strange because, like, talking to the people around here, because I talk to my neighbors all the fucking time, and, like, because I'm actually out in the community a decent amount because of my side business. They're not really, quote, all that redneck. They're...
Side business.
Yeah, I whore myself out. We already talked about this, you know that. But, I mean, like, people around here are not, I would not call them super redneck, so it's just kind of like, it's disappointing.
It would take a lot. They would have to do some really great feats for you to call them super redneck. I mean, if they can leap over a building in a single bound, or stop a speeding train, or...
Okay, they don't really strike me as very redneck at all. They strike me as very... boring, kind of generic white people, for lack of a better term, I guess is how I would describe them.
I mean, we're all the same.
Yeah. But that's how I would describe the people that live around here. I mean, they're nothing, nothing right. The reason I'm saying that is you would think with everyone kind of being so generic, there'd at least be a little bit of a variety of what's around here. But maybe then again, if they're generic, there wouldn't be. And maybe that's just what those type of people default to is, quote, music. And I put that in air quotes. I mean, I guess it's technically music. It's just terrible music. It's just... it's just...
Yeah.
Although it is...
I agree.
I get it. It is more listenable than, like, the pop, rap, rock that seems to exist now. And now we're just being old men yelling at clouds. Let's stop doing that. Stop doing it.
All right.
So... Yeah. Let's see. I think... Well, we definitely have covered your musical past, at least, in as timely... We've been at this like an hour and a half now.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we've done it kind of as time, and as timely as we could without just really going to like super long, boring kind of thing. So
I wouldn't say that. I mean...
Well, you know what I mean. People aren't going to want to watch this for 3 hours, I don't think. Maybe.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I mean, we can start talk about my Ninja Turtle collection. I mean,
yeah.
I just bought a mutant module. Man, this dude hooked me up for fucking $50, dude.
Wasn't that the thing that had the mutagen, like the slime you could put over the turtles? Am I wrong?
No. There was other pieces like that, but the mutant module is the thing that like looks like the drill on the front that they would go out the Technodrome.
Yeah, the Technodrome transport. Yeah, they were the little transportation through the ground. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they would always send like foot soldiers and rock soldiers and shit with them. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly.
That shit, like, dude, like normally if you find one in this good a shape and like 100% complete out of box, even it's like over $100. And I use this. There's this website called eBlueJ.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because like if you're missing just a tiny little piece, people will sell you that tiny little piece for like $1 or something, and then like.
Oh, that's killer.
$3 or $4 for shipping, and then if you get a hold of them before you pay, if they have a bunch of stuff in their shop you want, like they'll bundle it so you can save on the shipping. But so this guy had the mute module not complete, and I just hit him up like, dude, I really want that, and he was like, I actually have more parts, like if you're interested. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, like anything that will help the bid, and so a few hours go by, and he's like, I posted it, check it out, make sure you think it's fair. And it went from basically it was just like the shell and it had no pieces at all. And dude put all the stuff on it where he should have charged me $120,
Right.
So I was like, fuck yeah. So yeah. And then,
awesome.
Then today I got I found somebody on Macari that had all these do you remember Burger King had like those badges for the Ninja Turtles or whatever that came out?
Were they like the TurtleCom things? Were they supposed to look
well,
like?
Yeah, one just like all four of them pop up, and one like it says Zap, you open it up and there's Shredder or Space. I mean, they're real generic, but it's just one of those things you remember when you're like, well, for me, I was like 5 years old or something, and so like it was cool. So I found somebody that had like all 6 of them, and that just came in today. I just like that kind of shit. I just started. You've been collecting toys for years, but like I just started a year and a half ago, and I probably already have about $3,000 in Ninja Turtle stuff. Like the first line, like it's insane.
Well, I've been collecting for 20 years, and I've spent easily as much as a car.
Like a new car.
Yes.
Because a car to me is $1,000. Like. I've had 9 of them by now.
I'm saying about. I probably have spent at least 20 or 30 grand on this collection over the years. Easy.
I had one car loan one time, and it was for.
Was it that Intrigue?
Yeah, the Intrigue, the '99 Intrigue. The car was 4 years old, maybe had 40,000 miles on it. I paid. Okay, so I had 6 months left.
Yeah.
When they repoed it. Not only that.
Shit. They made
I had all rotors and wheels and all. Like I had $1,600 of work done. The transmission also died as soon as I got it, and I had to replace that myself. And that was about Jesus. $2,000. So basically, I had like $15,000 into this car that just got taken away from him.
Ouch.
But I mean, I told him to come take it because like, so the first month apparently I was late and they doubled my APR and never told me the whole time. Like it was Fifth Third, them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They doubled my APR and never said shit. So like, I was like, well, what's left on the car anyway? I was thinking I would just hit up my grandma maybe
Yeah.
and just like, can I borrow $2,000 to pay my car off and then I'll pay you back, you know? And so I was like, so how much do I owe on the car? And it was over $4,500.
Holy
and that's
shit.
when I found out after 4.5 years that they doubled my APR and they never adjusted my rate. Like I was still paying the same amount every month that whole time.
I could have sworn that in that kind of fucking arrangement, any loan, usually if they make any, usually they have to notify you of that shit. I thought. But then again, what the fuck do I know? You know, I guess in whatever.
My dad was also like a co-signer on it, and my family went through a bankruptcy shortly after I had the car, maybe a couple years into having the car.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what happened, but after they took it, like it never showed up on my credit report. It's just like my car disappeared and like all traces and records of it. I never owed anything else. I'm like, I think they took the car immediately, sold it, and got what they wanted back and left me alone. But still, they like really royally fucked me. So ever since then, I've probably had about 8 cars since then. I mean, that was like 2005 or 6 maybe when they took it. I buy a car for $800 to $1,200, and I ride it for 2 years until it dies. You know, because I'm never going through that fucking experience again.
The only way it's ever worth it to quote buy an expensive car or have a loan on one is if you're going to keep the car an extremely long time. You know, because
you know what I do for a living. So
yeah, I do. It's tough for you to get that.
Being a courier, no car lot in the right mind's going to sell me a car.
Exactly.
Because of what I do. So
exactly.
Like, my credit's good enough to get it.
Right.
But I'm just.
They'd look at your income and they'd
be like, fucking $350 a month and then have to pay like $100-something a month in insurance. Like right now, insurance is like $50, you know, or so. Like, I don't really. Yeah. I don't pay that much money for shit. My car's paid off, so.
Yeah.
I just don't see the point. And
well, my car's gonna be 15 years old this year. It's gonna be 15.
And I mean, how long has yours been paid off?
I paid cash for it. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just bought it outright when I bought the thing, and yeah, it's gonna be 15 years old this year. So.
Crazy.
Yeah, I
remember when you got that, man. That's fucking nuts.
I know.
That much time. I mean, that's how long I've lived here in Reading since I moved here in August of 2005. So I've lived here almost 16 years. Like.
Well, I've lived here since 2000. I actually got that truck before I got this house. I got that truck when I still lived in Morrow. That's how long ago it's been.
And after Morrow, you moved to like
Middletown for like a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was like a year or two where we didn't talk too much.
Yeah.
Because you met Samantha when you were still in Morrow, and then you guys moved like Middletown or Dayton or something. I don't know. And then when you moved to Indiana, then we started hanging out again. I wish I had those pictures and then you could put it up. That night we got drunk and shit. Like,
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And the reason we don't get together that often now is just because of the distance. It's like 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Like 45 minutes.
Yeah. That's just how it is, though. I mean, people disperse out over a geographical area.
I mean, even when you lived in Morrow, like you were a half hour from me, and it was still like always all.
Yeah.
But that wasn't nearly as bad because it was also just a straight shot up 71 pretty much.
Whereas now it's like this twisty turn maze thing.
I got it. Well, yeah, that, and I got to. I got to take like 2 different expressways or something to get there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And I'm just like, nah. So I've been to your house a couple
of times, yeah.
Maybe three times, maybe.
Something like that in the last 13 years.
Yeah. But I mean, we talk regularly enough.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how bros bro down.
Exactly.
We'll talk for like an hour on the phone, and then
that, and I think we've been to definitely many shows together. Like, I think we've been close to. Has it been close to 10 shows together in that amount of time? I know it's been.
Yeah, probably something like that.
It's been. I know we definitely go to shows more often than. And then, of course, I'm sure, remember the Slayer night and the car getting towed? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, that was awful.
That was some shit. I was like... All because
that sucked.
It's all because I didn't turn around and see the fucking sign. If we just turned around, saw that sign, I never would have fucking parked there, but...
We had to walk, like, all over Clifton just to get to the place to get your car out.
Yeah, that was...
It's funny, like, somebody offered me a backstage pass for a shirt that I bought, because I bought a long sleeve Rain and Blood shirt.
I remember that. And
somebody's like, dude, I'll give you this ticket, and you can go backstage and meet Slayer. And I'm like, I'm with my friend, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we came together, like, you drove me there, so, like, I was like, and I can't just, like, leave him and shit either, you know what I mean? So I was just like, I had to pass on it.
Yeah.
And it's, unfortunately, years later, thanks, Evan, it got lost in his basement and thrown away, but I love that shirt.
Yeah.
It was like $40. That was a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't have my shirt from that show is long ago. Huh?
Didn't you have a little blue car or something?
It was it was a Toyota Corolla. It was black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That shit is long gone. So I sold that after the divorce.
Yeah.
That was good times. She only cost me $40,000. It was totally worth it. God, I'm not bitter about that at all. No.
Yeah. Well, at least you guys never like procreated.
Thank God. Although now I've got offspring. And the upside today is my offspring is here. She's just been in bed because she caught whatever I had yesterday. Because yesterday I was just...
You preface this with the good thing is that I got my kids sick, so she's not bothering us right now.
Exactly. She's she's just laying in bed sleeping, basically.
Where's your mug, number one dad?
It's the kind of dad... That's how I roll as a dad, man.
I hear you, man.
Anybody who has kids out there will completely understand and know how kids are... Well...
I missed on that. Man, that's like the third time I've seen you do this. Like, you touch your glasses with
it's subconscious.
I don't know if you're flicking me off.
No, I'm not flipping anybody off. It's subconscious. I mean, I try to be more obvious, if I'm really going to do it, but...
Well, I do the trifecta.
Oh, man, we're really just going off in the weeds here, so... Let's see.
Speaking of which, I'm sure my girlfriend's watching this still.
Yeah, it's cool. What's really cool about your girlfriend, I think? I think it's cool how supportive she is of this stuff. That's really cool. Samantha, I've never said her real name on YouTube before, but whatever. And
I already said it.
I know. That's why
I didn't know.
I don't care. As long as my last name's not said, we'll be all right. So, yeah, cool. The reason I like to remain pseudo-anonymous on this thing is because of some, I'll say crazy shit sometimes, as you're well aware of. And
fun hint, guys. His last name's not Kroger's. It's something, Anyway. Play a little game with that. So let's figure out Bill's last name. Come on.
Oh, God damn it. I do.
Yes, I do. I have a very supportive girlfriend. I've gotten way more accomplished in my life in these last 3 years than I ever could have had time or hoped for.
Yeah.
She's actually like supportive and not jealous of my time that I have to spend trying to finish whatever project's bothering me at the time.
Yeah, whereas my wife, I'll just refer to her as that now instead, even though I already said her name. Anyway, she's like really neutral about my hobby. Like yours, I would say what you do.
Are you talking about masturbating? What's your hobby?
Well, I mean, I have...
ATDs? Is this your hobby?
Anyway.
My other hobby is just being an asshole to my friend.
Exactly.
Do you build the model cars or do you just sniff the glue? Like, what's your hobby? What's your hobbies that she lets you do?
I was gonna say, oh shit. I was gonna say, what you do is definitely more what I would call, for lack of a better term, art. You know, whereas what I do is just silly bullshit for the most part, and I acknowledge that.
A lot of my art really is just that. Like right now, I'm working on the second Wahaha album. So, yeah. Like my whole Cletus front butt show.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Series and that, and then I got Saturated Fat Ass. I got 10 albums of that. So yeah, I definitely have spent. Like I think I had 2 Saturated Fat Ass albums before me and her got together. So yeah. I've done 8 of those. I've done. Now I'm working on the second Wahaha album. I've got 2 Cletus front butt albums.
Yeah.
I've got 6 seasons of Cletus front butt.
That's awesome.
and in a movie and specials and music videos and all kinds of shit. So like, I definitely dabble in stupidity a lot. Like it's not all serious heavy metal.
No, but
so I definitely fart around too, Bill. But I still want to know what it is that. I'm sorry, bald metal nerd. Am I revealing too much here?
I don't care if you use my name at this point. It's already been said, so the cat's kind of out of the bag. It's fine. Shit, God. Speaking of, damn it.
You're in trouble. You got it.
Yeah. What? If you want to bring an iced tea or something, that works.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, something like that's cool. All right. I will. Right. Anyway.
So your hobby is?
I guess I'm masturbating at this point now.
What is your hobby though?
These silly videos. I mean, like, the whole reason I do these videos is just fun. Like,
yeah, you know, I'm having a good time, man.
Exactly. That's why you do it.
I mean, it's fun.
It's fun to do this silly shit, you know, and people, you know, it depends on what you do. Like sometimes people really respond to it, and that's always a lot of fun when that happens. Like I just recently uploaded like probably the gayest video ever.
Was it 2 men having butt sex?
No, it wasn't quite that gay. It was almost
three men.
No, it was me sitting with a guitar and fake playing it and singing.
Oh, you're air guitaring.
Yeah, well, it was a real guitar. I had a real guitar in my hands.
Well, you're still air guitaring the real guitar.
Yeah, but it was pretty silly, you know, and that was a purely ridiculous statement, I guess.
Okay. What was the song? Now I need to know.
Firepower.
Okay. I don't know.
It's this Priest album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The shirt.
I can barely make out, like, you're so tiny on my screen here, like, I can't even really see, and it's all backwards.
It's whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see you again over here, now I see the Judas Priest. I thought you were wearing, like, backwards, it looks like Milwaukee, like the drills and stuff. I didn't know what the fuck you were wearing.
Well, speaking of drills, like I said, I made an announcement.
Get on your desk! This is not a drill!
I'm going to be making a lot of videos about my construction project coming up soon.
Yeah.
That should be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably get a lot of hits on that, man. I actually watch a lot of the DIY network, but I mean, you know, like I've been a contractor for several years, but like I really can't wait to get out of this rental and get a home. So like I'm always watching those home shows just to get ideas of like what it is that I want, you know, like when we get out of here.
And what's really cool, what I've learned from the internet, just looking around, is because when I was looking at the area where I'm going to do the building, at first I was like intimidated because there's all these obstacles. There's like the sewer pipe, there's the ductwork, there's all this stuff that's quote unquote in the way. And then all I just had to do is just Google it, like framing around ductwork,
Yeah, you just frame around it.
And it's easy. It doesn't even
Yeah.
look hard at all. So I was like,
I wish I could
so
sell
I got-
you better on doing the 10 because I really think that it's going to make your life easier. But
I might. I'm not decided yet. You know, I'm still kind of in the. I'm not 100% committed yet. I guess I won't be committed till I start doing it. Whenever that is.
I mean,
So
yeah. Are you going to just buy a nail gun or?
yeah, probably
That's probably
because
the best idea.
they're not
Then
that.
you could then you could really take your time on it. I mean, I got with the 10, you would have to like rent the powder gun, but
Oh, then I'll just definitely buy a nail gun because I know those are cheaper. And
yeah. I mean, you could buy one of those powder guns too, but I mean, like you're only doing this once, but the nail gun thing, I mean, you might have to fix your fence someday.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I guess in that respect, it makes sense.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you're like middle aged, that's what you get pumped about is doing that shit. Like
I know.
like before, I don't know if you had brought this to me, 20 years ago or whatever. I would have been like, I didn't like who.
Queer.
I didn't been like who gives a shit.
Right, yeah.
Now I'm like, fucking, dude. Like one night I stayed up till like 2 or 3 a.m. watching DIY videos. I wish I made that up. It wasn't. Now when I was 20, would it have been maybe it would have been masturbating, but now it's fucking. I stay up late. Like if I'm up late down here in the basement, and my wife walks down here, she ain't gonna walk in on nothing. It's just gonna be me watching like, hey, look, I see this new framing technique I could do around the goddamn ductwork and this fucking pillar. Look at this shit. And she's just gonna be like, that's nice.
Yeah,
So-
like for me, it's either stuff like that or I'm just like, babe, look, Sky Escape Joker. Like, what a deal! It's out of box, but like So yeah, it's all Batman and Ninja Turtle toys that I'm looking at from that are like old as me. But and here, let's tie these back together with the masturbating shit.
All right.
Because like basically, I was very sheltered. I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Yeah.
I was born and raised Catholic, right? I was just rubbing my dick on my sheets one night, watching Channel 25 where there's a test all night. And some white stuff came out, and I didn't even know what the fuck it was. Like I'm like 12 years old and completely clueless, So once I knew what happened, I can masturbate. I'm a man now, and I like my toys, like all of them. And now here I am at 37, retarding and buying all my fucking toys back for summer. I don't know what's going on with my life.
That is hilarious. That is we got an extreme revelation here. The reason he got rid of his toys. Holy shit. That was YouTube gold right there. That was.
Well, here's the kicker.
Because
all my toys were drowning in semen.
well, because I remember, it's funny you bring up Channel 25 because
The local network.
it was actually no, it was.
You got the bunny ears on your TV. You could only get in a couple channels.
It
and
was,
at like 2 in the morning,
it
there's
was-
nothing on but this bikini guy.
It was this low powered station, and it was part of what was called Network One, and it was a nationwide thing of of stations back then. And I mean, they would show like you said, they'd show bikini contests, lingerie contests, anime that showed tits and stuff. And they had like a lot of phone sex ads. That's mainly. And they had like these weird B movies on, like they had like softcore porn, like, and this was like on broadcast TV. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Greasy.
So
I
it
need
was.
my glasses so I can do my
Bubbles.
bubbles impersonation. Greasy.
But yeah, that was nuts. That was absolutely crazy when that happened. That was
I mean, what else can we say?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean it's all the
Nothing to see here, folks.
and anybody who's old enough is gonna as fucked up as what we talked about was, people who are old enough to be able to relate to some of this shit, you know.
The first time I found out about the channel was at a sleepover I had with my friends when we were like 8 or 9 years old. I was at a friend's house and they showed me the station, like late at night. And so I was like, fuck. So it's like I already knew about this shit for several years before. Before. That's all I'm going to say. Just before. Right. Before. In the long, long ago. So anyway, all my toys are, my original toys are at Rumpke Dump. So now I'm buying them again. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
Well, we all got to recapture that shot. So.
Well, like I said, I've known you now like 20 years, and when I first met you, I was doing ninjutsu with our
mutual friend, yeah.
So like when I came over there, like you had a room that was just like retro video games, and
exactly.
then, like, all these shelves set up with Ninja Turtle toys and all this shit, and I was just like,
that's pretty
what the fuck? But I wasn't looking down on you, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. Like, man, I mean, even at that point, I'm like, kind of like maybe one day.
Yeah.
So now
here you are.
One day. I'm 37 doing it, but and the same thing. Like I got a Retron 3, so I got all these Nintendo and Super Nintendo games and shit now too. And my girlfriend's got a 64, and she's got a bunch of games for that. I'm getting some. I got a PS3, and it will play PS1 games. So my favorite thing I got for Christmas this year. She bought me Final Doom.
That's awesome. I
play that every day one summer when I was 13 with my friend. Like. That's what we did every single day. He'd wake up, call me like, coming over, yep, and we would take turns playing Final Doom all day. Like, so that was cool, man. Like, you influenced me. Like when I first met you, I'm just
that's awesome, yeah.
I was just like, you got all the toy collection shit, and I'm like, yeah, man, like, because I'm just old enough to remember playing with GI Joes or having friends that had the GI Joes and the Transformers, but like, I'm just young enough to where like it was like mostly the Michael Keaton Batman movie and the first Turtles movie.
But what was interesting is, like, Turtles is the one property we probably, quote, overlapped on. Because I'm older than you, so for me, Transformers, like, for me, the first toys I ever got a lot of as a kid.
He-Man?
He-Man. Yep, I had a shitload of He-Man, G.I. Joe, and Transformers.
Real Ghostbusters?
I had a couple, but those were never, like, I never had a ton of those.
I have some of those, too, but...
Yeah, but I had shitloads of those 3 brands that I just said, and they were like my favorites growing up. And like that was just the big thing for me, and that's just what I started collecting again when I got older. And I don't know what snapped in my brain to even make me want to collect that shit again. I don't know what it was. Like I was like 20 or 21 when I started. It was just like something there was like some switch that went off in my brain, and I was like, I must now own these toys for some reason.
Yeah.
And like, the most I've ever spent on any single one so far is probably 160 or 170.
Like on One Piece?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got you there, because I mean, I bought a Technodrome and a Turtle Sewer there.
Oh, those are going to be vintage. Those are going to cost way more, yeah.
Yeah. Well, plus I had to piece them together. I was stupid because I was like, I'll save money. I found this like shell of something, and then I'll start buying pieces for it. And in the end, it ended up
costing more.
What they go for. Like I should have just, saved myself a headache of tracking down every little cable and sewer cap and stupid shit.
I'm going to see.
Part of the fun though is the hunt, right?
Exactly.
Like, when you're putting together those old toys out of box, like, yeah.
Holy shit! Somebody is selling one of the Transformers that I own on eBay. I bought this one for 150, probably close to 20 years ago. One guy is selling it for 1,700, and another is selling it for 1,300. If I could get that much, I think he'd get sold, but
right.
But a lot of them aren't going for near that much. Some of them are going for like 500. And for 500, I'll just. I know it sounds silly, but I'm gonna hang on to it if it's only worth 500.
No, yeah,
yeah, but if I get, because I just was looking it up, just because that was the first really expensive one that I bought. Because I'll never forget when I got my first really expensive Transformer. It was $150, and I remember thinking to myself, I can't believe I'm about to spend $150 on a toy. And I just did it. I was like, fuck it, I'm buying this thing. Because it was at a local, what was it? It's like a local comic store or some shit. And I just had it sitting there. And I was like, yeah, 150. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it. And yeah, I definitely don't regret it. It's still apparently worth something. I mean, I don't know if I get over $1,000 for it, but you know. And the thing is, though,
it's more about what it's worth to you.
Exactly.
It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, especially when now see, there's things that like I'm a part of a lot of these turtle groups on Facebook, and everybody's obsessed with getting things on card for one, which I care less. And then the other thing is they're obsessed about stupid shit like a dog named Spot and a cat named Scratch that's dressed like in a jail outfit, and like people are paying like $800 for this one figure, even if it's out. And I'm like, I could give two shits less about that fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
So like my list was very, very particular when I was getting into this.
Yeah.
Like I definitely just wanted like the first run.
Oh, do you have a party wagon? I never. Yeah. Oh, cool.
And I got a pizza thrower.
Nice.
And the cheapskate, and then I got that ski, like the blue ski that like if you play Turtles in Time that Rat King's riding on.
Yeah,
that thing.
Yeah, like I said,
my girlfriend also got me the DVD set that comes in the Turtle van, and it's all 9 seasons of the cartoon.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's funny because I was 9 years old when the Turtles debuted. Like, the cartoon came on in 1987, so I would have been 9. So, like, that was...
I was, what, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for me...
I was born in late in September of 83, so...
Yeah.
I was 4, probably. 3 or 4.
Yeah. So, like, for me, that was kind of probably the last... major kid show that I was young enough for to be part of the target audience.
Yeah.
Because
Power Rangers. I was 9. So, yeah, like your age. Like, I was 9 when that came out, and then a lot of kids were giving me shit in my own class for it at first. Like, you like that? Like, I got so much shit for it, and then I ended up getting most of them into it.
I never got into Power Rangers, because by the time that popped along, I probably would have been, like, 14 or some shit? I don't know.
Yeah, too old.
Yeah, so...
The age gap we have, I have that with friends, too. Like, my friend Ryan that plays drums, and he was on that Mercuric on the single, and then he was also in Saturday Fast as a drummer. He's into Pokemon cards and shit, and I'm like...
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the whole Japanimation shit missed me. So, like, to me, Saturday morning cartoons... They all, like, look different, like Bobby's World had a look.
Yeah.
Had a look. Turtles had a look. And then all of a sudden the, like, Japanimation shit happened, and then, like, every fucking cartoon looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't really get into anime. Like, it just wasn't... I mean, at first, like, something like Ninja Scroll or, like, adult, like, I would watch that and be okay with that, but, like, Pokemon and shit, I'm not fucking... Like, sorry, I missed that. I'm too old for that.
I was definitely too old when Pokemon came along. I know some people that like Pokemon, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, so.
Yeah.
It's all good. But, what's funny now is, like, the whole cultural institution of Saturday morning cartoons doesn't even exist anymore.
And neither does TGIF. I mean, like, fuck, we'd be watching that right now. No, wait a minute, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of my days anymore.
Yeah.
But, I miss the old Family Matters Full House shit, and then get up early in the morning, eat cereal, and fucking watch, Tailspin or whatever the fuck. Like, those were the days, man.
Yeah, now it's just, because of the internet, everything's so fractured. Well, it's not just because of that. I think it's... I don't know. It's just been so much shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's the old man and cloud things.
Yeah. Old man yelling at clouds.
Yeah, it's our thing, know, like, how dare that cloud be there? I can't believe it. Yeah, it's crazy, I mean, because you just think about how much the internet's changed just since we've known each other. I mean, when we first met up, YouTube didn't even exist yet.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's
just
I would
like-
consider you one of my new friends.
And
No,
that
I mean,
was, and that was before YouTube.
that's not really true, but
Yeah.
I like at this point. But
Yeah. That's crazy to think about. I mean, it just shows how long. I mean,
hey, wait a minute. Here's okay. I weigh 260 pounds right now.
yeah.
When I met you, I was like 180. So, and I would remain that weight for probably like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And I had long ass hair. Like now I'm collecting turtle toys and I'm balding and fat as fuck. Like, but I play guitar better now. I mean, like,
It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
life's a real kick in the dick.
Well, I've, my big thing now is just, exercising and apparently staying the same weight.
I was gonna say, yeah, I could tell.
Well, at least I can lift a lot more than I used to. Like,
In your mouth.
that's true, because that side business, man, it's got to pay off somehow.
Hey, you got to sling bills to get the bills, right?
Ex-
What am I trying to say here?
I gotta sling it, yeah. Man, so we've been on for like over 2 hours. So I know we got a delay here, so I'm gonna make a silly
twice as long as we normally talk.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a silly gesture to like end the stream, and then I'm gonna end it but we'll stay connected on Skype, but I'm just gonna like hit it, so I know when the delay just to stop it. So I'm cutting this thing. To anyone watching, thanks for stopping by. Cut.
Yeah, thanks for listening to my life story.
All right, now let's see that shit end. Okay, I made. All right, end.